Some of the topics were a little bit risque, I think, for the first date for me. Alright, what's up guys? Welcome back to my channel. Come on in. This is Ocasio Vlogs. If you're new here, thank you for stopping by and watching my video. And for my returning subscribers, thank you for continuing to be on this journey with me. And so I guess you've seen in today's description what today's video is about. And today I'm going to be talking about speed dating. So I went to a speed dating event 2 Sundays ago now, and it was an opportunity for me to get back out there into the dating life, and it was an exciting opportunity. I've never been speed dating before. I didn't know that this would be something that I would be interested in doing. The setup for this was a little bit different than what you see in the movies and the typical speed dating, but because of my personality and how I engage with people, I really enjoyed it. And so I do want to do a disclaimer. Nothing I say in this video is to disparage any of the dates I went on. You know, I'm just having a conversation generally about what my experience was. And as I'll talk about in the outcomes, it was a pretty good experience. So let's get into today's video. So first I want to start off with what is speed dating. So speed dating is an opportunity for you to get together and meet with several different dates in one evening to see if you have a connection. They call it speed dating because you're rapidly moving between people. In this experience, each date was roughly 5 minutes, so I felt like that was a good amount of time to get in, introduce myself, learn more about my date from their introduction, and then thankfully the host gave us a couple of topics to talk about. But I will say for the majority of the dates, we really didn't talk about the topic. Some of the topics were a little bit risque, I think, for the first date for me, but overall I felt like it was a really good opportunity to get into knowing a good group of people. And generally, I found out about the event on Instagram. I had gone to an event previously hosted by this group. They put on events in Atlanta, and they're a new group to Atlanta, and I like it because it's a fresh sense of different type of events that I haven't been to, like specifically speed dating. And I saw the flyer on Instagram. The tickets were on Eventbrite. I asked my friends, you know, did you see this? Are you going? I will say that this is the type of event, if you're an anxious person, you may want to go with a friend just so that you can feel more comfortable, that there's someone you know in the room. But you don't want to spend the entire evening with that friend because you're trying to date and get to know new potential suitors. And so I found the event, bought the ticket on Eventbrite, showed up to the event, and I was one of the first people in the room, which I was like, okay, let me stake my seat. Let me make sure, you know, I'm feeling confident, I'm feeling good, I'm smiling. And then the event started, and what I noticed was people were coming into the room and the age range skewed a little bit higher than I was expecting. It was definitely from the first group of potential dates that walked in, it was definitely a group over 40, which where I am at in life right now, what I realized is that the older my potential suitors are, I feel like the closer they are to being ready to settle down. And because I just got out of a relationship, I would say relatively recently, I'm not in that space where I'm ready to settle down. I'm ready to, you know, go out, have fun, go on dates, I'm figuring out myself, you know, what do I want in my potential partner? What am I looking out for through this dating experience? But I'm not trying to hurry up and get into a relationship right now. So more potential dates started walking in, and I was definitely feeling more comfortable. I was like, okay, I like what I see here. I like what I see there. I got to make sure that, you know, I'm keeping a mental checklist in my mind. I'm like, who do I want to go on a date with? So the host comes in and we get started, and essentially the host says, this is not going to be your average speed dating. We're not going to be sitting down, moving from person to person. It's going to be more like a networking event. And I was like, perfect, because I am I'm class A1, none above in terms of networking. Like this is what I do. Like I come on. And so the way that it was structured was you would the host would say, okay, here's the topic. Let's say the topic is what would be your ideal second date. So the topic is thrown out, and then you, as the potential dater, you either find a partner or someone finds you within this space. And what I will say is that I did encounter potential dates that were very anxious, and that this was not a suitable experience for them just because of who they are as a person. And I think what you have to figure out if you're going to do speed dating is, okay, what is the setup? Am I going to be sitting the entire time? Am I going to be moving around? Is it going to be networking style where I actually have to go up to someone, or someone is going to have to approach me? I didn't have a problem with this, and so hopefully you don't either if this is the type of style. But if you do, then just be aware of that before you go in so you can prepare either to attend or to not attend potentially. That's enough about generally what happened, like with the setup of the event. Again, I enjoyed this style of speed dating because I have no problem with networking in the back of my mind, just walking up and approaching someone that I'm attracted to. Okay, so let's talk about the speed dates. So I went on 15 dates in 3 hours. And I know you're like, that's a lot. How did you keep up with those people? And I would say, honestly, the time went by quickly. I came in, I saw the event was going to be roughly, I think, 3 to 4 hours. And I was like, I'm not going to stay the entire time. Maybe I can do an hour. Maybe there'll be like a mix and mingle afterwards where I can just pop out. But I was really enjoying getting into the conversation. And I will say the first date, I was trying to go after a potential date and I got cut off. So I had to move around. And my first date was actually great. We talked about where we were from, generally what we do for work, how long we were in Atlanta, all kind of very general get to know someone type things. But I did feel like there was generally a connection. And so the way that you exchange information was, if you were interested in your potential date, you took a piece of paper and you wrote down your phone number. So when I did that, I told my potential dates to write down something that we had talked about. So for example, it may have been like where you were originally from, or what you did for work, or let's see, another thing that stood out to me was like what you were interested in. So a couple of my potential dates really like live music. So that helped me to remember. So when I went back in and locked them in, I could put in information that would help me jog my memory about who I had gone on a date with. And so I would say I got through maybe like 3 or 4 dates where I was like, okay, I feel comfortable exchanging contact information. I'm definitely trying to follow up. And then there were some dates where it was just like, I felt like generally there just wasn't a connection on both sides. Like the conversation was good. We had an opportunity to get to know one another. But from my perspective, it was like, okay, this isn't going anywhere further than this date. And I didn't feel like there was rejection on either side. I just felt like it was kind of like a natural, like, okay, we're not going to choose to exchange contact information, but, you know, thank you for the experience. So I will say there was only one potential date in the room that I had previously gone on a date with, and we did do a speed date, and it was funny because we got a chance to catch up and actually figure out, you know, why it didn't work out. So I was happy about that because I think, like, in my mind, I was always curious about, okay, like, I really like you. Like, why isn't this going anywhere? And to have that conversation, I have a better understanding now, and I feel more comfortable about it being settled the way that it is. And I don't know, maybe I'll reach out to that potential date and we can set something up in the future. If not, just to stay in contact. Okay, so outcomes. So you've gone through the speed dating process, you've gotten numbers, there's a mutual connection, and what do? The next step is setting up a date. So I reached out to a couple of the potential dates that I met to convert it to an actual date in person. And I think, like, I wasn't nervous about it because essentially there was already mutual interest that had been shared, and there was nothing to worry about. So I had gone on at least 3 dates with potential dates from the speed dating, date. And I will say, like, I really enjoyed myself, and I felt like it gave me confidence to get back out there, and I feel like I made some connections with good people, and I am most happy about that. Where it goes, I don't know, but I'm excited to see eventually what this turns into, and hopefully it'll be something fruitful. All right, so that is generally the speed dating process. I was very excited about it. I really enjoyed it. I felt like it was definitely a good experience for me. It's something that potentially I would do again. I think the length of it was long. it was it wasn't difficult to keep track of the dates that I had been on, but I felt like it definitely was intensive. And so if you're going to do it, kind of have an understanding, like I said, of what are going to be the rules of engagement with the event, and potentially like how are you going to exchange contact information or continue knowing the person. And if you do make a connection, be sure to reach out and set up a date so that you all can get to know each other even more and potentially make something more out of it. And so I put on my Instagram, in my stories, I asked questions about, oh, like, what questions do you have about speed dating? And the first question is, can it be speedier? And I had no idea what my follower meant by this question, but my interpretation of it is like, can the dates be quicker? And I felt like 5 minutes was enough time to get to know the potential date and introduce myself and figure out if there was even that like initial spark that said, okay, like, let's follow up with something else. Now I did watch a couple of YouTube videos before I did the speed dating event, because I wanted to have a better understanding of what the event was like. And there are some that are like 1 minute or 3 minutes, and they were like, I couldn't remember who I was on a date with. I couldn't remember why I was interested in them. They just felt like it was too much time. So I think if the dates go quicker, yes, you get to interact with more potential dates, but I think there's the opportunity for you to lose out on figuring out if there's that actual initial spark between you and the potential suitor. Can you connect with someone quickly? I felt like, yeah, like it was easy for me to know within that 5 minutes, yes, I want to take this to the next level, or no, I appreciate your time, but this isn't a good fit. There isn't that spark, right? There isn't that connection. And I didn't go into it with like the hopes of, oh, I'm going to find my forever partner. I just really wanted to have the experience and hopefully come out of it, making a couple of connections, which I did. I think if you put too much emphasis into like, oh, I have to find somebody at this event, then you may come out disappointed. So, go in with fresh eyes, an open heart, open mind, and just be open to whatever experience comes from it. Another question is it worth it? I felt like it definitely was. I think the event cost $10 or $15, which I thought was reasonable. There was a bar, so you could buy drinks. I didn't feel like it was a waste of my time. It's something I felt like I would definitely do again. And again, like, I made some great connections, and I ended up converting those to dates outside of the event. So I think, like, if you feel like the person who is hosting the event is going to bring out the type of potential suitors that you want, and you're open to that environment where you're going to be going on multiple dates pretty quickly, then yeah, I say it's definitely worth it. Is it fun? I thought it was very fun. And again, like, this goes back to this idea of bringing someone with you or coming to the event with someone, because initially we were having a conversation about, oh, okay, like, who do you see in the room that you think is attractive? Like, who are you interested in going on a date with? Who are you not interested in going on a date with? Like, and then after the event, like, following up to be like, oh, I actually met somebody that I'm interested in going on a date with. Or like, oh, I had a couple of bad dates. Like, I don't know if this is for me. Like, you get to share that experience. But generally, the event was fun for me because of the style of it, where it was like more of a rapid fire approach networking type of event that came with the added bonus of potentially meeting someone that you could have a romantic connection with. So I had fun, and I hope if you go speed dating that you have fun as well. When and where was the event? So like I said, it was supposed to be, it happened in February, but it didn't happen on Valentine's Day. It was roughly close enough to Valentine's Day, and it happened at a bar that they rent out for this type of event. So I think like I've seen it at restaurants, I've seen it at event spaces that have been rented out. I'm assuming like you could go on Eventbrite and find speed dating. I would say like another great way to find events like this is to follow dating coaches online. This event was hosted by a local Atlanta dating coach. He's very well known, so I knew like the scope of the people who would be aware of the event was going to be very broad, and that it would actually bring out people to the event. So that's one way to know whether or not it's going to be a good event. Or you could talk to a matchmaker. I've seen like TV shows on Bravo and stuff where they actually put these events on so that people can meet potential dates and potential suitors. And the final question I got was, why am I doing it? And I think I actually got this question twice. And so like, again, I said in the video, I am open to dating right now. This is a new phase, a new journey in my life. I'm figuring myself out. I'm happy with myself. I'm the most confident that I've been. This is the best like mental space that I've been in. So I'm open to date. I'm open to getting to know potential dates, going on dates. And if there is a connection, exploring what that looks like in the future. I'm just not ready to run into a relationship. So I felt like this was a very simple way to get out there and meet a lot of potential dates and be able to enjoy the event. All right, so thank you guys. If you made it to this part of the video, this is the end. That was my speed dating experience. Let me know in the comments, like, have you ever been speed dating? Is this something that you would do? Would you be anxious going to an event like this? Would you do something like this? So yeah, I had a great time. It's something that I would definitely do again, and I'm excited about the connections that I made. So thank you again for watching this video. This is Ocasio Vlogs. I'm trying to be on a schedule, putting out videos every Monday at 4 p.m. If you like this video, please subscribe. Click on the little notification bell so you know first when I put my videos out. And also please like and share the video if you felt like there was some good information in here. Until the next one, guys. Bye.